welcome to the FanJam talk show. It is final weekend here in England. My name is Colin, and I am calling from our London studios tonight. And tonight, oh, we are so privileged, we are so lucky to have in our presence one of the finalists. Um, Coming from Loughborough Lightning, we have Mary Cholok. Mary, how are you?
I'm all right, Colin.
Uh,
How are you?
Very, very good, very good. I tell you, I had to um, almost break my neck to get from where I was to get home so I could get to you. How are you feeling? It's finals weekend, Mary. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. At the same time, feeling emotional. Like looking back, how we started the
Hmm.
season, and here we now. It has been long. It feels short, yet it has been really long. So I'm really like to wrap it up and see what we get in the rest of the year.
So, what has it been like in the camp? I can imagine it's been, you know, the energy in
Yeah,
the camp. What has it been like?
it has been like really intense from the start. Like it's like we have been playing. There's no the team that we have faced and be like, right, we're gonna have at least a easy weekend. It has been really like intense. It's been building up to now. Like to get more intense every time we play. But we have a lot of experience this year. I personally have really grown to so much in in netball, even just expanding personal life. So it has been really a
Hmm.
good first season for everyone.
So, what has training been? I mean, talk us through training because I'm sorry, I can imagine things have been quite not only intense on the floor but also off it because I assume you do a lot of analysis work. And Sarah looks like she's a very meticulous kind of coach. She prepares to the nth degree. What has it been like? All the
Yeah,
preparation.
looking at the technical part, we have of course been touching a lot of defense, attacking wise, applying pressure, and that's the things that we are looking on the last days. Sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's easy, and just we just go. Sorry, just it's not too hard as it looks like. She's not too. She doesn't. To myself, I see that it pushes me to do something. Is one way she wants to see results. She's like furious when you're not doing what you're meant to do. So just giving us that push, that's really cool. It's like
Mm,
last week, she needs the best from us, and that we all want to win, and that's what we're looking at.
mm. And the key question is, and the question on everybody's lips,
Yeah,
can you win the competition?
why not?
Huh?
That is still so. At this point, everyone has all the four teams that are almost at the same fitness level, so everyone can win. Just just have to take it. Both of us have. Of course, one with the best energy would take the winning part, but everyone is capable of winning. Just everyone has to take the chance
So
to do.
your opponents, who are you looking forward to in coming up against
All of
in
them.
terms of uh,
Everything this
which, which,
season has
who
been
is do you think which one of the positions is going to be the key matchups in that match?
and so tomorrow we're playing Rhinos, and it's supposed to
Yes.
combination between Vicky and Training. So those are like most likely opponents, and for the finals, whoever between Bath and Thunder. So
Hmm.
we just take whoever because we have really played, and that's what I've been looking at for the last 2 weeks. Our likely opponents in the semis and finals. So we're really prepared. We have analyzed their games and stuff like that.
So you're going to be up against Leeds. Leeds are a very almost Australian style code play. They're very one to one. They wear you down. They will cut the supply off from center pass because they don't want to get the ball to yourself. How do you think your team will cope with that?
Um, Judging on how we played last time, I think they tried to shut us down most time, especially in entry, and they keep us wide. So we have looked at that and sort of how to really reconnect again because they tried to keep us apart, which is a very unique way of playing. Um, we have really looked at how we can reconnect again, like wing attack and Elan and Han reconnecting in the center and stuff like that. So I've sort of look at those stuff and analyze on how we can win, really.
Um, Looking at to get to this position, to get to the playoffs, has been quite a journey because we're living in difficult times at the moment with the pandemic and plus add your elite training onto that. It's been tough. Um, how do you view your performance over the season? How do you think you've done?
I think personally, like I said, I've really felt like I've grown so much in this season.
Yeah.
My teammates, I will be is a time where I felt uncomfortable when playing, and I've learned to really cope with that when I'm feeling uncomfortable, when I'm not doing as much as I expect. Because always everyone sets the goals what they want to achieve. The time when I really score low, or I think I haven't really played what the coach expected me or myself to do, I would just kind of be comfortable with that. But before, I would always like be too hard on myself. So kind of try to be kind on myself a little bit. And actually, I've
Hmm.
really done a lot of positive stuff, which is something that at least I've added in my book moving forward.
You're one of the shooters that has been on everybody's lips um, throughout the world, really. When we talk about um, Janelle Fowler, we talk about the Romelda Aiken, we talk about the Joe Hartons, and now people are calling your name a lot. How has that affected you at all? Do you think about it? How do you deal with that? Because social media can be a great thing, but it also can be quite a cruel thing. So how do you deal with that?
Well, just sort of take the positive part because always someone will say something bad, but I always keep it positive. Like some people, of course, I've not seen anyone trying to be negative on that part. So
Hmm.
it's a privilege for me to really come up with top. Um, everyone, I say, sort of say everyone has that their day to shine. So everyone who's done, I guess, it's my year, and then anyone who come before me, it just goes like that. But it has been really a good experience for me seeing that people really talk about me and appreciate my work. So I keep on
Yes.
pushing.
Um, you know, the next couple of years, it's really huge in netball. So we have the Commonwealth Games and we have the World Cup. How do you see your form going into those um, competitions, and where do you see Uganda finishing up on that in those competitions?
Good question. I think because of the challenges with the whole COVID situation, we haven't had like most international games. I missed the one in South Africa that they had recently due to COVID. But we posted according to girls' performance, how they performed, and they are really like new selections. So we're really positive that if we have some more time together with the team, we can definitely work something out. As a team, not to be underestimated because sometimes it becomes surprising to a lot of people.
Mhm.
So if we keep that sort of confidence and motivation to ourselves, that when we put in the work, we actually see the result.
Because going into a competition knowing you have two of the best goal shooters in the world, you have yourself and you have Peace Proscovia. that must gives the team a lot of confidence and stuff, knowing that we have two of the best goalers in the world that can put the ball away for us. And I, speaking from experience of working with you girls, I think I've always said Uganda's a sleeping giant. Um, you are one of the teams to be feared and to be watched. I mean, where do you think? How do you think that will definitely pan out come um, come games next year? Because it will be right here. Well, in England, but in Birmingham, 2 hours away up the road.
Yeah. Well, I would say again, it's a honor to to be playing in the team and also being respected. We really like a big contribution to the team. At the same time, we want to put the experience we get from playing abroad to our home country, whereby there's not much netball that is done
Mm.
international. International games come up, so sort of adding ideas together. Of course, I'm not a coach, but I'll sort of things I've learned from here, take it home, and then we can progress that way. It will be a journey for Uganda to be
Mhm.
at their topest level of training and coaching levels. So we're still learning as a country, but when we work together, we can actually put in something out there. We've been putting
Yeah, yeah.
out there. Just imagine if we try and try more. So hopefully
Hmm,
more
hmm.
that will come out. So yeah.
Let's go back to the vitality. I mean, with your extraordinary performances this season, what has it been like back home? Are people excited? Because I know a lot of people watch, or people keep a very close eye. Has people been excited about your performance?
Yeah, it has been very amazing from the media. People always looking out. It's really amazing that this time how women's sport has really grown and how much it has
Yes.
changed with more exposure that has been shown here. It's the more
Hmm.
has been back home. People have been keeping in touch. It's really amazing to see how we're growing in netball and also the support of girls sport, but people have been reaching out. They're really positive. They love the work. They love the netball, and people seem to be engaged, which is amazing.
And I suppose because of your success and Proscovia's success as well, it has sort of put netball on a lot of people's lips in Uganda.
Yeah, yeah,
Excellent
definitely.
work.
Yeah.
That's really, really good to know. Um, let's come back to the Vitality League. Who has been this season your toughest opponent or toughest player you've come up against or toughest team or the one that's just really got under your skin?
Um, I'll say every team has really brought in a challenge, but I will mention um, Thunder really like with a lot of good defense and Thunder team. Um, it was really hard to play
You
around.
mean Kerry Allman?
Mm-hmm.
Kerry Allman. Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's quite hard because she's stayed in a lot in netball and she has a lot of experience, maybe with holding shooters. And I've not played with her that much. It has been quite challenging to really like get hold and see study. But sort of now I've watched back and coupled to see how much I can really reposition and do some sort of stuff and maybe in the circle. And I would say London Toast. That's quite young girls that never give up. So you keep on attacking you, keep on attacking, and it's just like,
Is that Fumi for
mm,
danger?
yeah,
And
all these girls are just so amazing. The customer
Fumi
service,
and
yeah,
Halimat.
yeah.
Yes.
There's been so much talent in every team. I can't even not mention everyone, but every defender has really come with something different, and that is hard as a shooter to really trying to work with different defenders because it gives you something different.
Hmm, hmm.
So it's been a bit challenging. Just it just go. see what they got and then to see what I can do.
Um, in terms of where do you see, say for instance, God forbid, you don't win this competition. Where do you see this team? Do you see this team breaking up? Do you see this team staying together? Because you have quite a fairly young team, so to speak. So, and
Yeah.
actually, your team looks like it's got another maybe 3 years left in it, 3, 4 years left. How do you see this team panning out?
Well, we can't really predict as players what come out of the finals. We mentally do ourselves to check whatever situation may come and just deal with it. That's how sporting
Hmm.
go. But we don't see ourselves like breaking up as a team because we have built a lot of connection, just like having that close group with everyone has been really amazing. And even if we like people go different ways, I think still be caught in touch if I got your question right. Do you know
That's
what?
one of the things I've noticed on on social media. The girls seem to have your team seem to have a really nice camaraderie. They seem like you girls seem like you have a lot of fun. It just always look like it's always laughter. So tell us what is that like? What's it like to be part of that group?
We have been doing a lot of team building and team connection. And when COVID really hit, we only have Lastra as our own family. Some people stayed over, and we kind of have that connection being built as a team to always stay in touch with each other, keep in touch, just talk with each other whenever it's feeling down. And that's how the relationship has really built. And it's really amazing to see your teammates to go out for dinner and go out for lunch and with this difficult time, you really need that strong connection and it brings a lot of good work when it comes to playing together.
Hmm. And how do you think, um, looking back on your performance in the old season, looking back on your time here in England, how do you think you've been received by the British public?
Um, I always look everything positively. I'm a very positive person, but I think
Yeah,
I've been received like in a very positive environment has always been
yeah.
easy for me to grow and expand, especially in Lhasa. There's been a lot of platforms to help me cope with the new environment, new society, things like to help me really like um, feel free and engage in the community where I've lived. But it's always not that easy, especially when you go to new countries. The culture is not
Hmm.
the same. So it was hard for me to really, even if the environment was really like okay, it was hard for me to like quite like feel settled and feel at home straight away. So as time came by, I managed to build myself up. Learn to communicate better with people and also asking for help whenever I needed it. So it's been really like a good experience for me.
Excellent. Have you been chatting to Peace for any little tips for the weekend?
Yeah, just even me a little tips, like be aggressive, getting safe on, and just do what to do. The sky's the limit. You're always encouraging to those times.
Have you been watching her?
Yeah, I've been watching her play. She's been doing amazing.
So good. I mean, going this weekend is going to be extraordinary because it's the first time we've been allowed to have fans back in the stadium. I mean, how do you think you're going to cope with all that? With the fans in the stadium shouting? How is that? How will you cope with that? Are you nervous? Will you be nervous?
Um, Not really, because when the crowd is making noise, sometimes you don't even mind about it. You know, sometimes I don't
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
to the band, so it would be good to have fun. It will sort of give a little book with everything, but it's not. It sometimes freaks people out, especially if they're losing and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we have lightning fans and the people at the opposite. We always I would always want to create our own noise and call. And if the noise and call, definitely we don't want to. We can't hear the crowd. We don't know what happens to me.
Yeah. So you say you get over Leeds.
Yeah,
Who do you want in the final? Who do you want to play in the final?
I don't know.
Manchester or Bath?
Uh, I don't really want to play Manchester again. It's like almost
You
done.
don't want to play Manchester again. Is it that tough a battle out there?
It's a battle out there, and it's just like because we have played so much, like two times now, it's, everyone knows how they play, and it's just like there's nothing new to everyone. Sort of defenders know how to play and know how defenders play, so it's very hard to bring something new. When you have, especially have like a couple of games together in a few weeks. But definitely we could, yeah, whoever comes on, yeah, I'm mentally ready for anyone, either Team Bath or Thunder.